Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Now, this would be a little bit surprising, but I want to talk about this story right here that y'all might not know about. Okay? But French Montana was the original first Diddy before Diddy. And I'm gonna explain. I remember doing a story on French Montana in 2021, y'all, about him being accused not by one, not by two, but three different women. That's right. Three different women were coming forward on Mr. French Montana about freak offs, drugging, forced intimacy without permission, spiking them drinks. So now you are formerly a bad boy artist under Diddy, and you are being accused by three different women, Jane Does. One of them actually made a video about this man and what he did. Mm-hmm. The woman actually made a video about it. And matter of fact, let me just see if I can play this for y'all, so y'all get a clue what was going on.
And French Montana, he is facing some serious charges, and his whole way of life and his lifestyle, career could be over with this. So let's get all up into this, okay? French Montana has been sued for allegedly sexually assaulting a woman while she was incapacitated. The lawsuit was filed on Thursday on the behalf of the plaintiff, identified as Jane Doe. Now, this was in, I believe, 2018 that this happened. And when the news and the media outlet got a hold of it, it was in 2020 of last year. Okay? Montana is referred to by his birth name, Karim, in the list of defendants, which also includes a man described as an agent and an employee for Montana. Several business entities are listed as defendants as well. The alleged assault occurred on March 20.
Now, doesn't that seem a little bit reminiscent of Cassie's situation, where Cassie sued? Y'all remember when Cassie sued? She sued not only she didn't just sue Diddy, she sued the companies as well. Do you remember that? That she sued the companies as well. And this is the original freak off case that nobody was talking about French Montana. And I did a coverage on this story about French Montana being accused by not one, but not two, but three victims of freak offs, drugging, spiking drinks, all kinds of stuff. The woman was literally made a video on YouTube about this. People were coming forward. This was in 2021, y'all. Okay? He was the first person to get Me Too'd out the hip hop scene, but he made sure his situation got handled quiet. And plus, he is not as big as Puffy, but he was under Puffy's company at one point. He was a bad boy artist. Right, y'all? Right. Okay, so let's get into it. And I want you to hear that part again. The same way Cassie sued is the same way went about her lawsuit is the same way this first victim did. So did Cassie take a page from French Montana's situation and went about it that way? And then to top it off, Cassie, everybody's rumored to think that Cassie got... everybody is thinking that Cassie got $30 million. She only got about maybe 1 to 2. She only got anywhere between $2 to $5 million. $2 to $5 million. That's all she got, y'all. Do you believe this? From 30 million to 2 to 5 million? Okay, so I want you to hear this because Cassie might have took a page from this French Montana situation and listen to what this victim did with French Montana.
Business entities are listed as defendants in the list of defendants, which also includes a man described as an agent and an employee for Montana. Several business entities are listed as defendants as well.
Sounds familiar,
The
huh?
alleged assault occurred on March 28, 2018, according to the complainant. Jane Doe was allegedly sexually assaulted, sexually harassed by Montana, and sexually assaulted, sexually harassed, and the word that rhymes with grape by the other man. According to lawsuit, Doe was invited to a recording studio where both men were working and where Doe was served drinks. Doe was then allegedly invited to Montana's residence. Defendants were mixing and serving drinks to plaintiff and the other women who came with her. Defendants controlled the drinks, providing excessive drinks, making sure the women were drinking.
Sounds familiar? Does this sound familiar? Does this sound familiar to what Columbus Short said about when he went to a Diddy party and the drinks were flowing? That, he loves his tequila. He loves to drink. He's alcoholic. He went there, the drinks were flowing, everything, the drinks kept on flowing. This sounds reminiscent, doesn't it, of how the parties are? Freak-offs, huh? Freak-offs. Let's get right into this.
Let's get all into this. I'm Goddess Raven. And French Montana, he could be he is facing some serious charges. And his whole way of life and his lifestyle, career, could be over with this. So let's get all up into this, okay? French Montana has been sued for allegedly sexually assaulting a woman while she was incapacitated. The lawsuit was filed on Thursday on the behalf of the plaintiff, identified as Jane Doe. Now, this was in, I believe, 2018 that this happened. And when the news and the media outlet got a hold of it, it was in 2020 of last year. Okay? Montana is referred to by his birth name, Karim, in the list of defendants, which also includes a man described as an agent and an employee for Montana. Several business entities are listed as defendants as well. The alleged assault occurred on March 28, 2018, according to the complainant. Jane Doe was allegedly sexually assaulted, sexually harassed by Montana, and sexually assaulted, sexually harassed, and the word that rhymes with grape by the other man. According to lawsuit, Doe was invited to a recording studio where both men were working and where Doe was served drinks. Doe was then allegedly invited to Montana's residence. Defendants were mixing and serving drinks to plaintiff and the other women who came with her. Defendants controlled the drinks, providing excessive drinks, making sure the women were drinking at all times. Defendants also were themselves drinking and using drugs, Jane Doe alleged. Jane Doe alleges she blacked out after being given a drink Following a lucid phone conversation at approximately around 6:30 a.m. is what she remembers. The plaintiff was unable to and did not give her consent to engage in any.
Now, this sounds like a situation that Little Rod said he went through as well with Diddy, where he was given drinks and he woke up in the bed with not one, but a few other men in the bed, butt naked, with him. So this been going on since 2018. 2018, French Montana was doing allegedly this. An artist of Diddy. Where did he learn this stuff from? The freak offs, the liquor, the putting stuff in the drinks. Where did he learn that from? Let's keep going.
Sexual activities, the complainant states, adding, however, while she was incapacitated, she recalls several, not one, but several men coming in and out
Freak
of the
off.
bedroom where she was.
Sounds familiar.
Doe believes defendant French Montana was one of the men who entered the room and sexually assaulted her.
Sounds familiar.
The documents state both men knew or should have known that Jane Doe was incapacitated and unable to consent. Jane alleges she regained consciousness around 1:30 p.m., confused, intoxicated, and feeling a pain in her pelvis, her lower back, and her nether region.
And this is something I was reporting on 2 years ago. And this happened in 2018 to a victim, a Jane Doe, in 2018. And it didn't get settled until 2022, 1 year before Diddy's ass got hit with the Cassie situation. Same thing that Little Rod is talking about, freak offs, getting, spiked drinks, liquor, drinks being spiked and everything like that, waking up in the bed naked with people in the bed with you, and you don't know what you're going on and you didn't consent to this. Okay? Where did French learn this from? French Montana is a former bad boy artist. You notice ever since this situation, he's really been kind of quiet. You don't really hear too much about French these days. Now he's doing a couple interviews now and now that he's settled his case and everything, he's doing interviews because he done probably paid off this artist, paid off these victims. But she said she saw several people coming in and out of that bedroom. Now, Columbus Short said the same thing about having a drink, going over to a Diddy party and, a few people was there, people in the know was there. He asked for a drink and he said, I drink tequila. He was given tequila and he's an alcoholic. He had one shot of tequila and he said it tasted very smooth and then it hit him just that quickly. Okay? Not only that, let's keep in mind that French Montana had a heavy drug addiction that he talked about, having. Where did that drug addiction come from? The same issues that Cassie had of being a drug addict. The same issues that Cassie had about drug addiction and stuff like that. French Montana admits to having drug problems. And in Cassie's report, she talks about ketamine. She talks about, certain drugs, cocaine and different other type of drugs being offered like candy and being readily available to everyone. So this has been an issue for a very long time behind the scenes. And a lot of these people have been settling these cases and stuff like that, and, walking among us. And little do you know that they have settled 3 cases of drugging women. Drugging women. Freaking them off when they are half incapacitated. Okay? So French was the first one who got caught up, but he is not as big as Diddy, and that's why it's not a big splash as Diddy's situation is. But 3 victims came forward on French Montana. 3, not 1, but 3 women. Okay, that's a lot.
Jane also alleges that the other man, identified as Montana's employee, was groping her and rubbing his wang against her. According to lawsuit, a kit was administered and showed the presence of man juice. As a result of this incident, Jane Doe has and continues to suffer extreme emotional distress, anxiety, flashbacks, and depression, the suit states. She was just starting her career as a model and actress. However, this horrific experience has prevented her from continuing that career path, thereby resulting in damage to the plaintiff in the amount to be determined according to the proof at the time of trial. Doe is seeking damages on charges for assault, battery, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and more. But now there is somebody else. Okay? There's somebody else coming for him. Okay? So a woman has made a video on YouTube. So the woman posted a video on YouTube claiming an artist named Belly invited her out to dinner and told her she should bring some of her friends, which she did. Then the woman says French Montana, who she never met, showed up at the restaurant. French was apparently high and later followed her to the bathroom and tried to force himself on her. In the video, she states that, that she had a pencil, like one of those long pencil skirts, and he basically tried to pull the whole thing up and get access, and she basically had to fight him off, and she alleges that that she tried to when she tried to leave, that him and some other individuals followed her and her friends and was trying to get them to stay and not leave. Okay. So the woman claims that she was able to fight him off, but feels it's her duty to protect other women by sharing her story. She said she is not suing French and does not want any money. She also provides video evidence from the night and direct messages. But her only thing with this situation is she's claiming that she was 19, 20 at the time of it happening, and that was in 2018. But now but in the video, she's saying at the time that she's 24 years old. So the timeline, she got to get her, age right on when this occurred. That's the only issue I have with her video, is that she's saying she's 19 to 20, but now she's 24 years old. So the timeline isn't correct. Other than that, I believe her. So let me see. I want to see something if I can. I'm trying to see something because I think that she had did a update. I can find her. Okay, so this is her. She did this video 6 days ago, and in this video she says over 72,000 subscribers on YouTube, and she gave us an update. Okay, this was 6 days ago of the update. So the video is not monetized. Her video is private for legal reasons. So now this is a third victim that is coming forward that she's talking about now. There's a third victim now, okay? And now she has changed her tune, okay? Sarah has changed her tune and is saying now, I am in contact with Jane Doe's lawyer and pressing charges, so I can't speak any further on the situation. After reviewing the dates, it's only been a month shy of 4 years, which leaves me just under the statute of limitations. I made this video in support of this woman, okay? So that's the update that I want to give you, that she is now herself, Sarah is now pressing charges. And not only that, there is another woman that has come forward. So now that is a total of 3 women that are coming for French Montana and alleging that he has done some serious things to them. Now, what do y'all think? I'm going to leave the link to her video for y'all to watch her video, because I don't want to put nobody's video in there, but I will leave the link for the video so you can see Sarah's video and listen to what she says. And the only thing that you will notice, she has an issue with that 19 years old or 20 years old to the almost middle end of her video. She then says she is 24 years old. But
so yeah, that's the situation. Now, here's the update from that situation. Okay, so let me just stop this. So what was the update from here? Let me just see something. I want to see if you can hear her real quick.
Back and watch someone, go to court and charge and sue someone for rape that did sexually assault me as well, and just not say anything. I can't.
So there's a video. I don't know if I can put it up. I can't even put the video up. It sucks because there's music playing.
So basically, I don't know if you guys know who Belly is, but Belly is an artist that is associated with The Weeknd and French Montana and all these other people. And I had met him at the strip club that I was working at, and we had just hit it off just on some friendship shit. We were talking about how we're both Arab, and we were just talking about music and stuff like that. We weren't talking about, it was nothing like that. It was strictly friendship basis. And so he was like, I'm having a dinner party tomorrow. Come and you can bring whoever you want. So I brought my friend with me. Her name is Molly. So we pulled up to the W Hotel. And, we were just having dinner. We were having Chinese. And I didn't even know French Montana was going to be there. I could care less. It's just, basically he was super fucked up out of his mind, doing a lot of different substances and drinks, whatever. And I was sober. I was 19 or 20 years old at that point. I'm 24 now. So basically the night was going on. Me and Belly were talking. We were cool. We were just buddies. We're friends. And I was introducing him to my friend Molly. We were just talking about music and life and just regular stuff. And so I went downstairs. The bungalow is 4 floors. I went downstairs to go to the bathroom. I closed the door and used the bathroom. I'm washing my hands. Out of nowhere, French Montana walks into the bathroom, closes the door behind him. He pulls his dick out. He pulls my skirt up. I had a pencil skirt on. He pulled my skirt up and he pulled me towards him. And basically he was trying to rape me. And for a long time, I just thought maybe that was just him groping or whatever. But he literally had me cornered in a bathroom, lifted up my skirt, pulled out his dick, and pulled me towards him, super fucked up, obviously, but it's just
Do you hear this?
could bump into you or something, but I'm not gonna. No, let me say that what happened to me was in 2018.
Another victim.
And I didn't report it until 2020 when I found out that my situation wasn't isolated and that there were other victims. I reported it with the Las Vegas Police Department, but he wasn't charged. And I could have went forward with a lawyer, but everything really overwhelmed me. And it was hard because I was grieving friends that I lost because of the situation, and I was being like gaslighted, and I didn't want my name to be attached to him. If I'm known, I'd rather be for my own merit rather than like a bad memory. It actually hurts my stomach to be attached to it. But like I said, it's not about me. I want to be there for other people who don't have a voice. I think that he targets a lot of girls who are strippers or engaged in sex work.
Doesn't this sound familiar?
Or people that just don't feel comfortable going to police, which I understand. I also have to be a little concise with sharing due to video length uploading.
Doesn't this all sound very familiar? The things that Cassie said, Little Rod is saying.
In 2018,
it's been going on for a while, y'all.
I was introduced to French, Montana by a mutual friend who had...
I reported on this in 2021.
The friend was visiting Vegas and staying at my apartment. And I had recently moved to Vegas the year before, and, I didn't have any friends or a community yet. But you can't sit back and watch someone.
So, y'all, what do y'all think about that? So, what is the end result of this whole situation? Okay, what ended up happening with this whole situation? Y'all want to know? Okay, let's get into what is the end result. Because he got lucky. He got lucky. Okay, because French, Montana, to be dismissed from the sexual assault lawsuit, and this was around March of all things. This was March. All of this stuff is popping off in March of this year. Well, for him, things were winding down in March. Because March 3rd of 2022, just 1 year before his boss, or former boss, would be hit with RICO charges and freak-off charges, and Cassie would turn around and sue Diddy. His case was winding down. Because his was kind of dismissed. That's right. The rapper French Montana is set to be dismissed from a two-year-old sexual battery lawsuit filed by a woman who said she was assaulted in the musician's LA home. According to new legal documents obtained, the parties have reached a settlement in the days before, guess what? The case was headed for trial. Yeah, this case was about to go to trial, y'all. Yes. Yeah, Frenchie was about to go to trial, where this woman would show all, the video evidence, and it would be her word plus these other two victims coming forward to give their testimonies in that case for on her behalf as well. Yeah, it was about to hit trial. It didn't have long before it was going to be in. French would have been in court for this. But he got smart. Unlike Diddy. okay, who's his boss and has twice the amount of money. French was like, look, I don't want no problems, okay? So I'm just going to pay this off. I'm going to pay this off. What Diddy should have did, and look at this. Now look at that. French is walking around here right now with a dismissed case, doing interviews, being allowed at parties, attending the Grammys, going to parties, enjoying his life, invited to every event. You know, celebrities are willing to party with him and take pictures with him and interview him, not knowing that he just a few years ago was facing freak-off charges. Really? Freak-off charges, just like Diddy. You know, like they said, the girl said he targets S workers because S workers are scared to come forward. He targets the vulnerable. Doesn't that sound like what? And then the partying and the spiking of the drinks and making sure the libations are circulating around. And, you know, French Montana admits himself to having a drug addiction the same way Cassie admit to having a drug addiction. And the victim admits to waking up in the bed, you know, and looking around and realizing she, you know, in the bed with who are these people? And she like is coming out of her drug, you know, spike drink induce, you know, sleep. And she's seeing people coming in and out of the bedroom that she's in. What? Same thing Little Rod is accusing, right? Same thing Little Rod is, you know, alleging. So now, French, okay, that case, according to new legal documents now, the parties have reached a settlement in the days. Listen to this. It was just days before the case was going to head to trial. So he had to make a quick decision. Sell them chains. Sell them chains and sell them jewelries, whatever you got. You know, whatever album you know, whatever royalties you own or whatever you got, sell that. Sell the grills out your mouth. Whatever you got to do. Come up with that bread, that scratch, and hand it over to the victim. Yeah. Or else he would have been facing years of being dragged. Now, why didn't French Montana give Diddy some advice about settling his case out of court? So, okay, they've reached a verdict. They reached a settlement days before the case was to head to court. We broke the story. A woman filed the suit under Jane Doe, alleges she was raped or graped inside of his home following a recording session. The court and counsel conferred regarding the status of the case. Counsel informs the court the parties have reached a settlement. A new court order reads, it is unclear if any money changed hands in the process. Normally, a case like this is settled with the filing party receiving something for agreeing to dismiss the case. The rapper was previously due in court on March 14th for a trial in this case. As reported, the woman accused the rapper and his business partner of assault and battery, sexual battery, intentional infliction of emotional distress, negligent hiring, supervision, and retention, and negligence. In the original lawsuit, she claimed French had a long-standing practice of inviting women to their recording sessions and choosing women at bars and inviting them back to the Hidden Hills house. The woman alleged the group would supply women with drinks and drugs. Does this not sound familiar? That this man took a page from the Diddy manifesto. He took a page out of it. Okay, let's keep going. The woman alleged that the group would supply women with drugs, drinks, with the purpose of engaging in intimate acts with them without any regard to whether or not they consented or were even able to consent because they were not awake, y'all. Wow. This goes deep. Defendants, not defendant, defendants would be in control of how much alcohol was provided. The men at the party were in control of how much liquor was being served, y'all. Oh, let me make sure I turn that off. So y'all, what y'all think so far of this situation? Y'all tell me what y'all think. Now, I know y'all didn't expect this type of story tonight. Now, did y'all at 11 something at night? I know y'all didn't expect this kind of story. I know y'all didn't. But this is something I reported on in 2021, y'all. 2021. I had another video up with the with some of the victims and their faces and everything. I had to take that down. But the other video of them talking of the situation, yeah, this was up since 2021. Of French Montana. And how he get down. So he got smart. He got smart, y'all. And he settled out. He should have told Diddy to do it. He should have told Diddy to do it, but this situation sounds exactly like what Diddy is going through. This sounds exactly what the situation sounds like that Diddy is going through of French recruiting women with his friends. Okay? Recruiting women. Okay, this sounds exactly like Diddy's situation right here. In the original lawsuit, she claims French had a long-standing practice. Okay, that means he had a habit. It was a routine that he had of inviting women to their recording studios, the sessions. Diddy's accused of doing what in these recording sessions? Groping Little Rod. French Montana is accused of choosing women at bars. He's going to the bars, y'all. And so y'all be careful out there. He's choosing women at the bars. This is all allegedly, but this is what was reported in the report. This is what the victim said. Choosing women at bars and inviting them back to the Hidden Hills house. Oh, yeah. I want to thank everybody who tuned in. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button for me, okay? Hit that like button, comment below, subscribe. Okay. I won't be, just doing, regular stories on celebrities. I want to do stuff that, actually is, the real tea, real situations, real problems in the news and in hip hop and things that people ain't talking about. Like Mr. French Montana's, 3 victims and a settlement dismissal that he did. Because it kind of proves what Cassie said. It kind of proves what Cassie said. It kind of is proving what Little Rod is saying. Okay, because, geez, doesn't it sound a little bit similar? Doesn't it sound a little bit familiar? Okay. The woman alleged the group would supply women with drinks and drugs. Cassie said that Diddy would provide ketamine, cocaine, weed, Molly, perks. Sounds familiar? Making sure the drinks flow, the libation, with the purpose of engaging in acts with them. Sounds familiar? Diddy's freak offs without any regard to whether or not they consented. So they didn't care. These group of men did not care, allegedly, if they consented or were even able to, because they might have been incapacitated because they're knocked the hell out. So these people could have been, these ladies could be knocked completely out. Okay, this is in the original lawsuit. Okay, y'all. This was not no little, this was a real lawsuit that she and two other victims were potentially going to go to court and testify and give their information about the situation. Y'all. Okay? Y'all tell me what y'all think. Let me know your opinion right here. What you think about this? Okay? Y'all really let me know. But some of y'all just like listening to my voice, okay? And that's okay. It's like, I like giving like a little hour-long conversation or so, like a podcast. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. This is something that ain't nobody talking about on YouTube or Instagram or TMZ. Nobody's talking about it but me. And when it happened in 2021, not many people were talking about it. Not many people were talking about French Montana's case. They just let it slide. I didn't even hear, certain woman that always is telling all the tea. I didn't even hear her talk about it. But I remember doing a video on it and looking and waiting for a long time to see what the outcome was for that case. It's sad. 3 victims. Y'all don't forget to hit that like button, the comment below if you can. Subscribe if you can. Defendants would be in control of how much alcohol was provided. So they controlled the atmosphere. They controlled the libations. They controlled how much all of these people would be given. Don't that sound like a setup? Or is it just me? Don't that sound like a setup, or is it just me, y'all? I want to say thank you for everybody that tuned in. Y'all, don't forget to hit that like button, hit the comment, but comment if you can. I know this is crazy to hear, but this is what people ain't talking about. Okay, there's some other stuff that people, these people have gotten away with that they ain't talking about. They walk among us. Defendant would be in control of how much alcohol was provided. Always making sure there were excessive amounts. Sounds familiar, like Diddy, allegedly. Don't it? Let me make sure I cover my ass. Okay. All right. Defendants would be in control of how much alcohol was provided. always making sure there was an excess amount given and encouraging the women to drink. This is what the suit reads. Adding, defendants would sometimes, without the women's, oh Jesus, this is like, defendants would sometimes, without the women's knowledge or consent, provide drugs to interfere with the woman's ability to knowingly consent to intimate activities. In some cases, she claims, the rapper would take drugs and encourage partygoers to do the same. Yeah. I'm going to look for something real quick. French Montana reveals, I'm going to stop it. French Montana, okay, this is 2020. All right, so like 2021 when this, all right, 2018 is when a lot of this occurred. Okay, 2018 is when a lot of this occurred. And then by 2020, when Shish was starting to hit the fan, he realized, I have to get rid of this drug addiction, because he became a drug addict. I don't want to call him a drug addict, but he, developed a drug addiction. Same way Cassie talks about developing a drug addiction, he did too. French Montana reveals his drug abuse had become a hobby prior to hospitalization. French Montana is focused on his second act after previously undisclosed battle with substance abuse landed him in the ICU. The former bad boy recording artist French Montana admitting that he had a drug problem. And the same thing Cassie said was around was plenty of libation, plenty of, drugs, liquor, all of that. Of all people, Columbus Short with an alcohol problem, even his ass was over there until they tried to drug his ass. In an interview, he talks about it in December 28th of 2020. The rapper reveals he's over 1 year sober after spending more than a week in the ICU for health issues related to exhaustion and substance abuse. Last year, back in November of 2019, French Montana was transported via an ambulance to a Los Angeles hospital because at the time, the 36-year-old had to seek medical treatment for nausea, stomach pains, and an elevated heart rate. However, French now says his troubles were far more serious. What? I was running for like a good 20 years without a break, and God put a stop to that. I had a little health scare. I tell people that all the time. If you don't end up in the ICU after your birthday, then it wasn't a good birthday. What? Did you listen what he just said? That if you don't end up in the ICU, it's not a good birthday? Didn't Jane Doe said that Usher ended up in the hospital? This man just said that if you don't end up in the ICU, it wasn't a good birthday. Okay, then. I don't want to have a good birthday. Prior to his hospitalization, French said he had performed in 5 different countries in the span of a week and was suffering from a combination of being fatigued, dehydrated, losing myself, chasing money, chasing the wrong things, too much drinking, too many pills, boom. This is what he's saying. The hip hop star collapsed after returning home to Los Angeles. Too much drinking and too many pills. What did Cassie say about the prescription pills being around, the ketamine being around, the pills being around, the liquor being around? What did the victim say about the drinks or, excessive drinking? So this situation was going on for a very long time. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay. And when Cassie left Diddy, it was around 2018, 2019. And the situation with French Montana was 2018. You see these numbers are starting to add up or nah? Because Cassie left Diddy, 2018, 2019? French Montana's situation of being, sued and taken to court by 3 victims and end up in the ICU, having a drug problem, a pill problem, liquor problem. So did Cassie. Cassie had the same issues. The victim complained about having stomach pains too. Okay, so the French says he began using Adderall to stay up late and Percocets to relieve back pain, but his reliance on the prescription medication quickly spiraled. Isn't that what Diddy was doing with the prescription pills? Yeah. Wasn't this a problem that literally, like, at one point, Diddy's need for medications and pills got to the point, that's what they said on Cassie's thing, that he couldn't even get prescriptions anymore, that she had to get them because he had, basically overdid it with the prescriptions? Yeah, nay. Okay. Then it ends up being a hobby. What the Didn't you not notice that a couple other celebrities recently talked about having problems with prescription pills and it being a problem for them too? Who else? Y'all comment below and tell me. But don't y'all remember there was a couple other celebrities recently that admitted to having problems with prescription pills? Percocets and stuff, and I forgot who it is. I know it was a rapper and this actor who came forward saying that they had problems with it, and I just, for the life of me, I can't remember right now, but I remember. Okay, so it's all connecting on who's who and who's involved with these freak off parties and who gets down with what, because the prescription pills and the type of pills they're talking about, Percocets, is very telling. Okay, they're giving themselves away with these clues because there was a celebrity that was addicted to them Percocets. Okay, it was just overdoing something for too long. I bet it was. And to the point where now sober is becoming my new high. People were saying I was out of control. Not me. You know what I'm saying. But that most difficult part of his health journey, officially in the rear view mirror, the Pop That artist says he's ready to introduce French 2.0 to his fans. I stepped back, took 2 steps back and didn't drop no music, detox from social media. And I think that was like the hardest thing I ever did in my life, to snatch myself back. Yeah, you had to snatch your life back and stop doing what the flip you was doing, the freak off parties, getting, chicks drunk allegedly, all of that stuff that you was doing allegedly. You had to stop. Because, you was potentially looking at losing everything, your reputation, your livelihood, and ended up in court, in jail, and court, and being exposed. Yeah. I'm going to thank everybody once again for tuning in. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody rocking with me. Okay. Let's go. Now, in some cases, she claimed the rapper would take drugs. So she witnessed him taking the drugs and encouraged partygoers to do the same. This man is talking about how if you don't end up in the ICU unit of the hospital, that you ain't celebrating a birthday. If your birthday don't consist of you being in ICU, that's not no birthday. I don't want no birthday that ends up in the hospital, but let's keep going, okay? In the specific case, the alleged victim says on March 28th, this is crazy that all of this stuff is popping off for Diddy in March. And in March of 2018, things was popping off for French. In a specific case, the alleged victim said on March 28th of 2018, she was invited to a recording studio off of La Brie Avenue in Los Angeles. And during the session, Montana showed interest in her and invited her back to his house in Hidden Hills. She claims the group arrived at his home around 6 a.m. and say 30 minutes later, she made a call outside to a friend and was lucid. She was outside talking to her friend and everything. At this point, she claims she returned to the kitchen of the home and was told to take a shot of some alcohol by the crew. Sounds familiar how, Columbus Short, Columbus Short was offered his drink of tequila. And he was like, "Ooh, this is smooth," until the other stuff kicked in, right? It was smooth until the drugs kicked into the damn drink. So she was fine, talked to her friend on the phone, comes in, they're offering her a drink, and at some point, she claims to have completely blacked out. And this is what would have happened to Columbus Short if he wasn't such an alcoholic and took his ass to the bathroom, washed his face off with some cold water, got himself together enough that the driver that he came with or somebody came with was able to let them know what the flip is going on, and he got his ass to flip out of there before he could pass out. And he went home and he passed out there. Yeah. At some point, she claims to have completely blacked out and remembers being incapacitated while several, not one, not two, but several men were coming in and out of the bedroom. She believes the rapper was one of the men who entered the room and assaulted her. In the end, she says she woke up and was confused and started crying hysterically because she felt that she had been drugged and raped. The alleged victim went to a local hospital and had a kit done administered. The test showed traces of a lot of semen, nut juice, man juice, and she claims to have reported the assault to the police. It's unclear if the criminal investigation is ongoing. The lawsuit originally was seeking damages for extreme emotional distress, anxiety, flashbacks, and depression. Following the settlement, the case will most likely be dismissed. So what do y'all think, y'all? Now that I've come to the end, it's 1 hour. I've come to the end. What do y'all think about this situation? Yeah. Whew. That was a lot. That was absolutely a lot. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Please comment below. If y'all are watching me on X, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, please. I appreciate it. Or just subscribe to me on X to keep watching. You know, those who are watching me on YouTube, I appreciate it for your support. You know, I'm the little channel that's gonna keep on, you know, growing and trying, and I'm not gonna give up on this channel. I want to thank my supporters who are watching. I want to thank even the new people who are coming through and watching. I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone who's watched this live. You know, please share it. You know, share my videos. And thank you. And I hope y'all tune in to another After Dark live. I appreciate it. Y'all take care. On that note, I'm out. Love you. Be safe. And be careful out there, because what may look good and have money and look shiny can be very evil inside. Be careful out here. These people, there's a lot of corrupt people out there. So be careful when you're going out. If you're a person that goes out to drink or you want to go party and stuff, don't leave your drink unattended. Watch your drink. Don't let somebody offer you a drink. Buy your own, or have them buy you it in front of you. Be careful out there. Let somebody know where you're at. Okay? Do whatever you can to keep yourself safe and able to get home. All right?